Hello there, friends. This is Dr. Jonathan with another 12 at 12. And somewhat ironically, I'm recording this at 12 midnight. I am going to be involved in one of my online global advanced spiritual mentorship groups, Wednesdays typically at 12 o'clock. So this one will be recorded, but it will be posted at 12 noon, Denver Mountain Time. That's in the United States. And so hopefully, wherever you are, you're enjoying this at 12 or some other time. The theme I wanted to explore today is the topic of normal and what is normal. Facing this pandemic, most of us have had our lives turned upside down, or at the very least, following something we never expected. So, before we reflect on that, I thought we might take a moment just to kind of catch our breath. You know the routine, so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortably but alert, and then using your breath deeply in, long, slow exhale. Find your way back to a quiet place in yourself. Doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't have to last long, but just pay attention to stillness and silence within you. Let this quiet place of connection become the foundation of your life, your first point of reference, so that your natural, radiant existence would be the expansive context for all passing experiences, all joys, all fears, all discomforts. Hold it all in the beautiful, eternal silence within you. There's a beautiful, I guess you'd call it a prayer, that's been passed for many years now in the Western world, and the author is still unknown, but it reads like this: God, make me brave for life. Oh, braver than this. Let me straighten after pain as a tree straightens after the rain, shining and lovely again. God, make me brave for life, much braver than this. As the blown grass lifts, let me rise from sorrow with quiet eyes, knowing that your way is wise. God, make me brave. Life brings such blinding things. Help me to keep my sight. Help me to see aright that out of darkness comes light. And so with this, of course, my thoughts turn to this extraordinary moment that we're in. And, it reminds me that a friend of ours made a funny joke, and she said, wow, so my government has told me that I need to stay in all day, possibly just watching TV and eating snacks. In fact, they're imploring me to do this. And she said, this is something I've been training for my whole life. And of course we laughed because, I think the reality is there's millions of people that have often thought, if only I could just sit at home for days on end, snacking and watching TV and doing nothing. Well, millions of people now have that opportunity. But at the same time, I find myself saying something similar. That when people reach out to me through my website or here on Facebook or Instagram, a lot of the questions I get are about how do we apply our spiritual path, our spiritual teachings, our spiritual beliefs to this situation. And with all respect and love, I have to say I'm always taken aback a little bit by this kind of question, because maybe I haven't been doing a good job, but the whole point of our spiritual practices, our spiritual paths, our spiritual perspectives is precisely to be prepared for situations like this. In my experience, in my life, in my teachings, and in my work, the spiritual life is not about when things go well. When everything's all lined up and you're getting everything you want, life is naturally what I'd call spiritual. Feels connected, feels good, you're open-minded, you're relaxed. But that doesn't last. The question is, how do we create those same conditions in ourselves so that no matter what's going on in the world around us, no matter whether things are as we know them, as we expect them, or as we hope, that we can find that joy, that peace, that contentment, no matter what. That, to me, is precisely what the spiritual path is about. This moment we're in is precisely what I feel I've been training my whole life for. Now, having said that, I don't mean for a second that I would want anyone in my family to be sick. I don't wish anyone in the world to be sick. I don't wish for any economic hardship or suffering. But what I do mean is that the skills, the tools, the attitudes, the mindsets we need to face this and embrace this and receive something from this is precisely what the awakened journey is about. More so, I would say that if you haven't been able to find the right philosophies or practices to get you to this point will help you get to them. And this is what I mean by, let's talk about normal. So it's becoming more and more clear to me that for many people, maybe most people, when things aren't normal, we don't feel well. Or you might say, we don't feel normal. Now, I guess I have a small advantage because I don't know that I ever felt normal. I think secretly no one really feels normal. But the idea is that normal is a kind of condition that is predictable and comfortable, even if we don't like it entirely. Even if there's something about it that's a bit broken or even messed up. We want our normal. So maybe we complain about our job and suddenly we can't go into work. And now we complain we can't go because we realize that we need what that job did for us. It gave us some purpose, it gave us income, and it filled a significant portion of our life. Or maybe there's friends and people in our life who we gossip about, or we complain about, or we don't appreciate, or we haven't expressed love or gratitude to, but now we can't see them unless we're maybe online. We can't talk to them, we can't sit with them, we can't laugh face to face in person. So our normal is being taken away from us. And we can focus on, this kind of regret and concern, disappointment, anger, even fear and panic. But I'd say that experiences that challenge normal are precisely the kinds of experiences that our spiritual masters have been inviting us into for thousands of years. When a shaman sets about seeking their path, their guidance, their power, their relationship with nature and spirit. They leave normal. They leave the village. They leave the conventions of food and mobility, and they seek solitude. They seek austerities. They live without community, without work, without food. And in those abnormal conditions, they discover the truth of who they are, who they can be, and more so, what they never expected. When we read the lives of saints and great mystics, the same is true, that their greatest moments of awakening, of refining, of healing, of connecting with Spirit, God, directly, is abnormal. It's in abnormal times. It's in abnormal places. The whole monastic movement, since the very beginning, is about taking normal life and freezing it and saying, no, I'm going to go without normal food, normal sex, normal relationships, a normal career. In the yogic traditions and the Eastern traditions, the Buddhist, Taoist, Confucius, Shinto, any of the Eastern traditions, you look at their great sages and what they taught, and they've all said that it is only in seeking the abnormal condition that we can awaken to the true nature of our reality, the eternal nature of self, the divine qualities that we can then, if we choose, take back to our normal lives and make them extraordinary. But staying with normal, being comfortable with normal, is not a way to peace. It's not a way to what we want. It's not a way to success. It's not a way to deep and lasting love, and it's really not a way to health either. So as we come to the end of these 12 minutes, I encourage you to welcome the abnormal, welcome the challenges to your normal, and take real time to sit quietly, journal, reflect, maybe talk to someone, and share what does it feel like when normal is taken away. The first layer you're going to explore is your reaction to that. And then you're going to go deeper. How might this serve me? What might this teach me? Or more specifically, what am I already learning about myself? What do I hide from? What do I keep hidden? What do I rely on for my own peace or affirmation? And can I find my same dignity, same strength, same joy, same peace when all those external conditions are taken away? When normal is taken and you find peace anyway, when fear arises and you find peace anyway, when constriction and confinement is put upon you and you find freedom anyway, this is the essence of an awakened life. This is the essence of a spirit-centered life. Amazingly, this is the essence of a fully engaged human life, where you are free to enjoy anything and everything before you, to learn from anything and everything that happens to you, because your root, your groundedness, your core identity lies in something greater than any context or any moment. So let normal be taken from you and be grateful. Be grateful. And for those whose normal have been taken with great pain, with great suffering, then we offer love and space and deep, deep compassion and companionship. For there is no magical phrase or spiritual practice that makes the pain of loss any less. It simply gives us the broader understanding of life to know that as painful as it is, we will endure. That there is still love, there is still wisdom, and there will be lessons when we're ready. So thank you again for another 12 at 12. I sure hope I posted this properly. And with that, I'm going to sign out. Thank you.